I hear it all the time. I don't want to role play. I don't need practice. It's not like the real calls. I'm good enough. I can do this. I'm so great at this. Or I'm terrible and I don't want to hear it. Guys, we absolutely need to be role playing. Here's the top three ways we can role play that actually are going to translate into closing more deals. Now, to start off, I'm going to admit it. I'm not a person that loves to role play. Okay. And I think the reason that I have struggled in the past is because I like the pressure of it when it's in real time, right? Sometimes I think the role play is fake, where it doesn't, sometimes people are just objecting to object, where when I talk to real people, that's not always the case. They usually just hang up on me, or I can get to the real concerns and overcome it. But I always believe there's a winning scenario possible. Sometimes in role play, they make it where they can't, but you still get a lot out of it. It's still something important that you do. It still practices. And just want to make sure that today, here's three things that I believe are going to help that really, really will improve your skills. So the first thing is my concern. Make it realistic. Okay. Make it real. Have an opportunity for the person to win, right? I don't believe in like the no-win scenario. We can always gain something from that. So I like where we're going to come in, we're going to have real objections that we're hearing right now. Those are my favorite ones to practice. So if we're concerned about the market, let's have a role play on that. If we're concerned about gas prices or economy or AI, right? Any of these things, I like questions about that. Or if it's not the right market for them, no problem. Let's run those. Or if it's sales, if it's the price, right? Or I have to think about it. I've got to talk to someone else, or someone else is in this decision, right? Husband and wife player, significant other, whatever. Make it real, okay? Real objections, practice the interruptions, practice the pushback, practice the emotion. These are going to help because the closer we simulate it to what it really is like, the better you're going to do over time because you're prepared to do that. So you can sometimes have your partner that you're practicing with practice with like at being a difficult client. Sometimes they're an easier one, right? Give them a script of objections that you want to work on so they can throw at you. Uh, don't stop the role play when you mess up. Fight through it. Keep going because a lot of times you can turn those around as well. So that's one of the most important things is make it real, right? If we're going to do this, if you're going to commit to doing this, do that. And once if it doesn't feel uncomfortable, it's not working a little bit. We just want to simulate how real calls are because you're going to get more out of it that way. Okay, number two, another thing I don't like doing, right? But when people have heard my calls, they're blown away, right? So we got to record and review. This is where growth happens. Now, for me, a lot of times I just don't like hearing my own voice through it because I always think, I don't sound that great, or what can I do better, or those kind of things. But once I really started to do that and having all my calls recorded, I could hear the areas and reviewing them to what I could have done better, right? So yes, it's a little uncomfortable. I know I didn't like it at first, but once I started doing it, it did really, really help me. Okay. And it helps seeing where you can improve. Even if you can just find one little thing, it could be a cadence, it could be tonality. You could hesitate here, right? You're losing control of the conversation. Oh, right here. So when people that I would coach would send me their calls, I could pinpoint the spot, at least for me, of like, yep, right here. This is where I would have done this, or oh, it sounds like you're kind of lost it right here. This would have been a key thing to ask or follow up or control. Or not saying that for sure it would have worked, but I'm saying that's what at least my instincts say, right? And then we could practice off of that. Um, so you're going to do those. You want to record your role plays. You want to record your real calls too, because we can go back through and review those. You want to rewatch them immediately. And we've asked, where did I lose certainty? Did I control the frame? Did I ask strong questions? Awareness is going to equal faster improvement. And I'm going to tell you, just in the fact that you're doing it versus not doing it, you're going to get better. You just are. You're going to get comfortable. right? You're visualizing your success, you're preparing your success, you're actually practicing for your success. And once you have these better and better, what really happens, truthfully, is you get a lot more confident. Now, because you've been doing a lot of these, right? You're ready for those particular scenarios that you hear over and over and you're drilling and you're practicing. I heard once I was watching a, a show about like military special forces. And I was like, these guys are some of the best like shooters in the world. Like it's effortless, right? Yeah. But you don't know that they're practicing thousands of rounds each week, every day they shoot. I mean, they just go through tons of rounds. They do the drills over and over and over and over and over again. So much so that when they're in like, let's say the hostage rescue situation, it's automatic. They've practiced it, live fire, so the sounds, right? When we're doing calls, we've done it. Once you get to the point where you've just done this so many times, you start to anticipate what that person is going to say. You're waiting for them, and then you have the perfect response. But that only happens when you've done this so many times with practice, with role play, with calls, and you're actively trying to perfect the art, just like the special forces, right? They're trying to be their absolute best, like every day is selection. Okay, that's how you have to treat this. If we're going to do this, let's go all out to be the absolute best. And I challenge you, right, that if you start to take it in that mindset and that approach, where you want to be the best of the best doing this, everything is going to start changing. You're going to start really improving. Okay, and if you want my help getting in, sign up below for the paid, or you can get to the free if you'd like, into my school group. I'll review, I'll start practicing. If that's something you want to do, especially in the paid, we'll crank it up on the things that you need, and I'll help you get fast really, 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 really quickly. You're going to get great. You're going to get effortless. You're going to start anticipating. It's just practice. Okay, and I'll help you do that. All right, next thing. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe as well. Trying to bring these every day for you. So I'm doing this daily, right? Reviewing, watching, making sure where I can improve. But I really want to bring actionable things that you can do, okay, that you can improve on, that you're going to benefit just from watching the content that I'm creating for you. Okay. Next thing, focus one skill at a time. Absolutely. If you're trying to do every single thing, it's harder to improve. I remember when I would go make calls. If I ran into something, I still would try to overcome it. But whatever it was, I would write it down. And then I would practice, look up everything I could to have two or three different scenarios that could overcome it, objection handlers, or ways to pivot, or ways to reframe, right? Or the acknowledgement. So sometimes when we want to do it, let's practice on one particular objection we're trying to overcome, or one skill, or one thing that's happening. One time I remember practicing on when I would be connecting too much with them, the call would go too long, and I wasn't sure how to like close that. Right? It would go, I knew in my time it was 15 minutes. Once I got past 15 minutes, it was going too long. I'm trying to move into position to set that appointment or to close. And then they say, oh, okay, well, great. It was great talking to you. And then something would come up, they have to go. So I had to have a way, right, to be able to do that. So I would practice and practice and practice on that. And I found a great way, right, saying, hey, you know what? It definitely sounds like we are kindred spirits. I literally, I hate to do this, but I have another appointment that I have to get to. So I'll tell you what, I'd love to just come out and I'll let you know what I think. And either at 12 o'clock or 2 would be better today. And whether you use me or not, it's totally fine. But let me come out since we have connected, and I'm gonna see if I can help you or not. Man, it worked so well. I could get off the phone, right? I knew that I connected with them. I took control before something came up and they had to go. I let them know that, hey, I felt a connection. I want to come out and see if I can help. And I just framed it that way because it was true. And it was honest and I cared about the person. And they just said, yeah, come on out. That would be great. Love to see you. Come out at 12 o'clock. Right? And it worked. Okay. And of course, depending on the situation, the close ratio is very high. But it would have been okay if it wasn't the right fit. I was going to tell them what the truth was. Right? So that's what you want to do. You want to focus on that one thing, right? And then go after it, focus, think of 2 or 3 different ways. That's another little trick that I would do because sometimes the first one doesn't work. I can go back in with something else, right? Build up that one skill that you're getting all the time. Always try to focus on the objection that you're getting the most often or the thing you're struggling with the most, right? It's not just random one. Pick the one that if we improved it right now, if I wave a magic wand and I could fix one thing and that would turn into the most success for you, what would it be? Comment below the thing you're struggling with the most, right? Put it in there and let's just see if you can focus on it for this next week, next month, and see how much more you improve. Okay? Reps plus focus are going to equal mastery. I know for a fact this works. I know if you get in my paid coaching, I am going to help you. I cannot imagine that I cannot make you better. I have never seen it with someone that I cannot improve or at least give you something else to think about or something that I have learned from just doing this over and over and over again that's going to significantly help you. So get in right now while the price is ridiculously low. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Make sure you check back in tomorrow. We're going to crush this. I'm super excited. I think this is a really fun one. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.